Hi, I'm Tim.
And I'm Gail.
And you are chasing the Joneses. We are here at Creekside RV Park in
beautiful Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, the home of Dolly Parton.
Absolutely. And so we wanted to bring you what are we going to do today?
Let's just do a little walk around and show them about this RV park.
Sure.
It is a really nice, beautiful, family-friendly, peaceful. Well, why don't you come and see for yourself?
Yeah,
let's
come along with us.
Go for a walk.
As soon as you pull in the driveway, you come to the registration office, where we have some lovely little chairs right there. You can rest your weary bones.
Nice rocking chairs.
And of course, we have the great things of ice and firewood.
But that's not the greatest thing here. There's two things that are much greater. One is the trolley stop, because there's 2 trolley stops at this park that take you all throughout Pigeon Forge, and more importantly, ice cream! They sell ice cream here until 7 o'clock at night. Inside of the registration area, there's a small store, very reasonably priced. There's some really cool gifts, and then information about shows and anything else you would need to know. Very friendly staff inside of there. It's a family-owned business.
So anyway, you see this little board right there, and that board right underneath the open sign is when people come in after hours. They have all their registration info right there, and they're able to just go in and go ahead and park where they need to be. So let's continue on. The first thing that we see here, of course, we see some flags up there, but there is the pool, and it's a decent sized pool.
It's a really nice sized pool, especially for such a moderate sized park as we're in. And my favorite part about it was, instead of it being a chlorinated pool, this park has a pool that's treated by salt. It's salt water, and so when you get out of it, you don't feel like you've been bleached. Oh, and there's Grace. Aw, hi Grace. We had a really good spot. We're 2 sites from the pool, easy walk over to the office.
All right, so there's several spots as soon as you come in. Now, one thing I want to tell you about is that these sites are gravel. They have a concrete picnic table area where a lot of people don't even pull out their rugs or anything like that. They just kind of use that concrete area for that, but it is a full hookup. This RV park has 111 spaces for RVs, and they are all full hookup. There are no partial hookups. There are none without sewer. They're all full hookups, and they're a decent size. You get your little space in there. It's not too crowded.
I would say cozy, but not packed. Let's say it that way. As we walk down this way, you'll also see that there's a little wire that's sticking out there, because there's also free cable for television, so you can actually watch TV here. We haven't had time to, but you can. This is the creek for which this RV park is named. Now, we've had a substantial amount of rain this week, and so it's up a bit, but still it drains pretty well, so we've not had any flooding or anything, which is of note, because a few days before we got here, the other side of Gatlinburg actually did have a major flood, and the water didn't raise up to the level of the parking here.
Now, what they say here is that there's some good fishing in this little creek right here. So if you want to bring your fishing poles, I think that they're more than gladly to allow you to fish for some trout and bass. So as we continue our walk, it's just a really simple little place.
Hi, Grace.
This weekend, everybody was here, it seemed like, this weekend, because we were here during the, what were we here for?
We were here during the Smoky Mountain Jeep invasion, and actually this place was packed, and almost every slot had at least one and sometimes two Jeeps along with them.
There are several sites that are located along the creek, so you can pick a spot right by the creek. And I saw some people out here the other day, and they had their lawn chairs down there by the creek, and they were just hanging out, enjoying their time.
The waters are kind of high right now, but that's because we're here right after Hurricane Ida made landfall. So, but before that, it was nothing whatsoever that you could have had your kids out there, even little kids, just playing in that water. It was a very slow, still kind of a creek.
And what I've noticed when I was a walk around here is that every site has at least one tree, if not more. And so you're either under a tree or right next to a tree. And like this site right here, there's no physical trees there, but if you look back in the back right there, there's like 15 trees back there. So you're real close to trees, and all of these sites are just managed really, really well. And look what we found right here. So here we are, we're coming up on the trolley stop, the second one.
Yep, I'm waiting for the trolley. The trolley runs through here every 40 minutes during the day, and it will take you down to all the sites, even to Dollywood. So you can go to outlet mall shopping and anything you want to do, and you really don't have to have another vehicle with you.
True, very true. And one another thing I want to tell you about this is that there's like an inner circle right through here, and then up through this area right here, we find that there's another section back here. This is where we find 5 pull-through sites located right in here. And earlier this week, there were some big rigs parked in these spots earlier. And you'll notice again, it comes along around the river again. And it's very well landscaped and very well taken care of. And you can see as the size of these rigs are just, some of these are pretty doggone, but 35 foot and more, and they're able to come right in, park, set up, and really have no problem with it. And so this part goes all the way down to the end of that 5th wheel right there, and then we kind of just turn around right here, and we're in this little circle where the pull-throughs are at. And this one right here is set up for a nice big rig. It is a very long site. Now the one thing, if I had to ding this place with anything, if I had to say this was the one thing that I didn't like about this place, is these 5 or 6 spots right here that back up directly to the road. And there's no barrier on the road. You just seen a car go by, and so they're just backed right up to there. And that's probably the only thing I could say that's really bad about this. And again, out of 112 sites,
That's not bad.
5 or 6 of them, I mean, that's not really bad at all, especially when they do their best to accommodate you in everything that they do here.
And the reason why those just seem kind of scary to us is that that's a really, really windy road with lots of switchbacks as you're approaching. And it seems as though people sort of take that as a challenge to see how quickly they can go through those turns. So it would be kind of scary to consider that maybe a car could fly down off that road and sort of land on your rig in the night.
Yeah, I didn't think too much about that, but now that you mention it, there is that thought process. We came in on the windy road, which we want to definitely tell you this. If you come to stay here at this site, pay attention to the website and not to your GPS. Your GPS will take you in the back way, which is all mountain, basically a car and a half sized road.
Yes.
It's very difficult. We drove our 35-foot motorhome with our Jeep attached, and it was scary. I want to tell you that right now. So they'll have you come through the city, and so they have certain directions on the website for you to be able to get to here safely. This section is really domed by trees. Like this lot right here is really a nice little domed by trees, and you know what's interesting about being up here in the mountains is it rains at least once every day.
Yeah, it
you
seems
know,
like, yeah.
it seems like it later on in the afternoon. It just showers about 15-20 minutes, and then it
Right.
quits and
Yes.
until the next day.
But
And that's
today is different because we're getting that tropical storm after effect.
And then on our left right here is, of course, the bathhouse and the laundry house. Now, I will tell you, I went inside that bathhouse and it is super nice. I mean, it is really, really nice. They have 4 shower stalls, a full bathroom. It doesn't smell like old bad water.
Yeah, you know, if you've been to RV parks, you know the smell he's talking about, where it,
Yeah.
like kind of the bleach, chlorine, mold kind of a smell. It doesn't. They're dry, they're clean, and for the ladies, they're very large stalls for the shower, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah, and so they have two set up. They have the first area that you enter into. They have a chair there, and then of course the shower area as well. And then of course right here in the middle is the laundry room.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
There are 3 of each, washer, dryer. It was $2 to wash, $1.50 to dry, and I actually took my clothes out of the dryer before the time was up, which again is something that if you're a full-timer especially, you learn to appreciate. So it was probably about 45 minutes that it ran on that cycle.
And what
So
I
just
like
one
about
time through.
And what I like about this place is that you don't have to stop off to get all the nifty flyers and everything for everything that's going on right here in Pigeon Forge, but you can just come right here. They have everything that you need. Most of these have coupons, so that you'll be able to save some great money. Now this is bear country, and so they have these trash cans, and they empty them quite frequently.
Yes. We didn't mention, but there is Wi-Fi available on the site. It, of course, the more busy it is, the worse the reception would be. And also, you have to remember that we're in the mountains, so do not count on the absolute best cell and data service that you've ever had. This is a really great time to unplug. It sure was for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And so here we are coming back to our little spot right here next to the pool and next to Grace right here, and we got a nice little tree right here. We're right back here at Grace, and we want to tell you about the membership process stuff
Yes.
that they have.
There was a lot of different discounts available when we went to book our stay here. They have senior discount, military discount, coast to coast, Good Sam. So there were several ways that you could get a discount off of what I figured were pretty reasonable rates anyway.
Yeah.
In fact, the first few days that we were here, because we were here during August, Coast to Coast had a deal that it was only $40 a night
Correct,
to
yeah.
stay. So
Because we are Coast to Coast members, we saved $75 for being here, and that's almost the price of a whole year's membership.
yeah,
You know, so we definitely saved some money as we came in here on Coast to Coast members.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
y'all, we have to tell you something else. You probably heard us as we kept saying, well, earlier this week. Well, let me tell you what happened. This is the first time it's happened to us. We had done tons of videoing, and something happened to PT's phone, and it's all corrupted. So pray with us that somehow we can get this stuff back, because we hiked to the top of the Smoky Mountains to Clingman's Dome. There's footage from Dollywood. We hiked across Skyline Bridge, which is the longest suspension footbridge in the country. I mean, so much stuff we have. So we've redone this one. Pray with us that we get to show you the rest, because I am not thinking it's a good idea for me to hike up that mountain again.
Well, we don't have time this trip,
Yeah.
so, you know, that's just the way it is. Well, that's it for us today. I'm Tim.
And I'm Gail. And
We'll see you
down the road.